Okay. Just one second, guys. Just one second, guys. Okay. There. I had the sound on my big screen and forgot to turn that off. So many things to remember when you're setting up your shop, for this sort of thing. Okay. Hey, Ryan. Stopping by to say hello. Okay, great. I'm going to be covering a few things that I don't normally cover today. As you know, I do a lot of I do a lot of teaching while I do this. My idea is not to do so much just to be live, just to get a bunch of views and all that, which is perfectly fine if people want to come in and do that. But I really like doing these because I can cover a lot of material I can't cover necessarily in a video, and unless it's a short video, it doesn't get a lot of views. So I figure going live and covering some of the material that I like to cover about turning a little bit easier on a live. So whereas some people kind of just turn, I'm going to. Okay, by the way, folks, 77 Rockets is going to be doing lives Friday through Sunday this week, so keep an eye out for him. Ryan's always turning new things. It's always fun to see what he's going to get next. And of course Sunday at Ryan we will be busy, so don't forget that we got our glorious junk days this Sunday, so we'll be out there with the Sequoia wood turners, and we will be running a booth at least part of the day or most of the day. So Saturday one might be or Sunday one might be a little bit later in the day than the others because I think we have to be out there around 6 to set up. So, but anyway, I digress. Anyway, I just wanted to take some time today and cover some things I've been seeing on some other lives. Some of them worry me just a little bit, or just things that I think should be need a little clarification, at least from my perspective, not necessarily from everyone's perspective. But I just think that it probably is not something that it should go unsaid. So I'm going to cover a few of those things today while we are turning. Okay, so we're going to be turning. Let me take this off. We're going to be turning a piece of what I think is what I believe, and I don't know for sure. I believe was like a bloodwood or blood orange wood. I can't swear to it because I don't know. I remember I got it about 10 years ago, and I don't know where the label went. Um, but just so you can see, this is the other piece we're going to be turning today, and it is a piece of cork oak, and we'll be going over that. As you can see, there's a very large amount of bark on this, and I'll bring that a little closer, but you can see there's a lot of bark on that. We'll be turning this today, and if we have time, we may try and do a very thin turning on a piece of birch. And I really love birch. I love the patterns that are in it. We're going to see if we can turn a tiny little bowl out of this, just to show that we can do it. And it's kind of like anything else. You do it because it's there, right? So we're going to try and do all three of those today and have a little fun along the way. So, um, is the mic picking up, by the way, okay, guys? Hopefully it is. Are you hearing me okay? Someone let me know. Hello. I appreciate the hello. Please let me know if you can hear my sound. If not, I'm just talking to myself. So please, please, somebody say yes, I can hear you. Think you can. And if you're watching, please feel free to comment. Oh, thanks, Tech Edit. I appreciate that. If you please hit the like button, I'd appreciate that too. It does help the channel. And we'll start turning here in just a minute. I'm going to be using one of my Sorby grinds today, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, I will get you in closer to the work here. And in fact, I'm going to try and get you right over this work. Okay, so bear with me while I move you. And I apologize ahead of time for this because it's going to be a little bit weird. Don't want anybody getting seasick or anything while they're watching this. Okay, I'm going to mount this and then turn it down. And see if we are in a good spot. There we go. Trying to give you the best angle I can. Even turn the light on it for you. Okay, so as I said, I think the other day, I had to send my good Trend mask back to the factory to have them evaluate why it's not charging the batteries properly. They're not holding onto a charge on the batteries. So I'm going to be wearing a mask part of the time. And oh, thanks, Tech, for liking. Appreciate that. And hi, Dan. I see everybody's starting to get in here a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take my glasses. Those glasses, by the way, are just for reading. I will be wearing this mask, which I hope you will still be able to understand me, even if I have this on. And I may take it off from time to time, too. We'll see. In fact, I might take it off for now. I think for this particular part of it, this is not going to be too dusty. But I will be wearing my face shield. I have my handy-dandy backup face shield that I use for when I have people over here and doing some training or practicing. This way, they have something to protect themselves, because we do want to be protected. Hi, Kevin. Welcome in. So morning, Kevin, it's morning where you are, so whereabouts are you? Get a little motion going there. It is morning somewhere. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's 3 p.m. here. It's 5 p.m. Towards the East Coast, or it's 6 o'clock. Toronto, Canada. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, by the way. Been to Toronto. I really liked it. We took the train to get there, actually, and very, very nice town, city, and spent 2 days there. As part of our trip, we went over to the British Columbia area, but really enjoyed Toronto. It's very modern. It's like a little more, like remind me a little of San Francisco, like, but only in a good way, not in a California way. So So, got this piece of wood here, and you can see it's got a little piece missing here, and it's got some missing here. So it's not roughed out all the way yet. I just kind of started it. But I wanted to cover a couple of things that people talk about all the time, but they never really show you very clearly. So I'm hoping that you can see. I'm going to start with, how do we get this cleaned out? I see a lot of people, they approach it like this. Okay, straight on. And if you have a carbide tip, that's probably okay. It's also very low speed. But if you do that, that's fine. But you're not going to take much off, and you're not going to get a very clean cut across, because what's going to happen is you're going to get groove as you go across the wood. If you want to take out a good piece of wood and you want to actually smooth this out at the same time, you need to take an approach that comes from the bottom of the bowl up. This is going to be the bottom. This right now is going to be the top of the bowl when I'm done. So this is going to be the bottom. This is where we're going to put a tenon. But I need to first get the sides cleared up. So you come up from the bottom and you ride, this is called the bevel. This right here is the bevel. And you want to be able to get in there and ride it. So what I've seen with a lot of rookies, or not rookies, I should say, but people that are new to turning, I'm going to kick the speed up a little bit here. I teach them to do this. Just put the back of that on. You're not cutting anything, okay? Just get used to putting your hand on the tool rest, because the idea is that you have to hold this down onto the tool rest. Too many people think they have to do this. This is not holding on to this, and this is not going to control it from bouncing. This will keep it from bouncing. And your whole push is down on this, not pulling or moving guiding the tool. The tool is guided by your waist. And you'll notice that I'm coming at a slight angle up, okay? So when I'm riding like this, I'm not really cutting anything off. If I lower the back end, raise the tool up a little bit, okay? I'm still not doing anything, that's not cutting. Now, if I start to turn it into the wood, you see it starts to cut just a little bit, okay? And now, if I just follow that line, that is how you ride the bevel, and that's how you get a much smoother cut right in here. Okay, I need to clean that up just a little bit. But a lot of people start in the middle, or they start over here, or they do this, and that's really not what you want to do. In fact, after taking that cut, I want to move my tool rest a little closer, because you don't want to have any room where the tool rest wood gets like this, and something can grab and take your tool down, take your fingers with you. This is a very safe position. This is well connected. It's not coming out. You're not going to get hurt by it spinning. You're really in a lot of control here. Okay. Again, nothing is turning out like that. I do like this. Still not getting anything. I tip it just a little bit. If you tip it too far, you're going to be going in with the tip, and that's when you're going to get a gouge. So you want it to be going up. Maintain that contact and maintain that angle. And there you go. Now we took that one side out just about. There's just a little bit right here, and there's a little bit right here. We got a little bit of an angle coming this way. I want to straighten that out too. So I'm going to go into the bottom here. Take that off a little bit. Okay? If you look right here, I don't know if you can see it very clearly here, but if you look right here, you'll see, you can watch how the turning is cutting through as we go. Okay. Now you can almost see it shining almost. It is so smooth. It hardly needs any sanding. Little tiny bit more. Just a little tiny bit more. In fact, I may even come off just by a little rounding. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even need to go any deeper because okay. So now we can do a scraping cut. A scraping cut is using one side of the gouge. You can do a pull cut like this, a pull cut, or you can do a push cut. And it's much like using a scraper. It smooths out wood out very quickly. And again, you're already at about the 120 grit sanding, at least right there, that quickly. I hope you guys could see that okay. Okay. Again, appreciate it if you can hit the like button or subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We do these lives every week. And we try to do a little teaching as we go. So it's not just some old fart standing here turning and saying, why don't you guys do the same thing? I try to show guys how they can maybe improve their own turning a little bit and improve mine too, for that matter. You never stop learning. We've got guys in our wood turning group that are 90 years old and they still learn new tricks all the time. And they've been turning for 50, 60 years. Need to raise that just a hair. There we go. Got to make sure your tool rest is set up so you're coming right across the middle with the point there. It's a little concave at the moment, that's okay. I'm curving out these ends just a little bit as we go. And if we've done everything right there, I should be able to put this up against it and not have any gaps. And that's a pretty flat surface right there. I don't see any real gaps. Nice flat surface. We'll have a good connection when we put on the tenon. And I think I'm going to leave that just like that is for now, and I will do the tenon. Let's see. I guess I'll probably do it this way here. I have my marker, and I think I can go inside that just a little bit. That looks just a bit large. Let me see. That's a bit large. Okay, I can go inside that. We're going to just talk about a couple other things here too when we get inside. One thing I like doing a mitered tenon when I can, and the reason for that is I don't have a lot of wood here. I can't afford to cut off this much and make another tenon for it to hold on to, and I didn't want to do a glue up. So your next best thing, and actually what I find to be actually an easier tenon and stronger tenon in many cases, is what they call a miter tenon or an inverse tenon. And it does not need to be deep. I know some of you that have been here for a few of my lives, you probably get tired of me saying this, but you do not need to make a deep tenon. It just needs enough to hold on to. We can get by with, about 1/8 of an inch, generally speaking. See if we can. Okay, I'm gonna lower this just a hair for this particular tool. Every tool has a little bit different height. So you got to be able to adjust accordingly. There, now I'm right on that center. There we go. I can get that in the center. And then I'll be able to clear this off too if there's anything loose. Very lightly. Like that. Let's see what we got. See if I got a good. Oh yeah, I got plenty of room in there. That's plenty of room. Okay. That's going to be our tenon. That's going to be our tenon right there. That little bit, and see if I can let you see it a little bit there. Oops. I'm going to have to take you off of this one. There's our tenon. Okay. I'm going to put you back on our other holder here so it's a little bit out of my way. And get this out of the way, this out of the way, and let you get a good view. There we go. Oh, if I could only afford to have a cameraman at the same time as I'm doing this, huh? All right, so we're going to do a little bit of sanding before we get started here, simply because it's the easiest time to do it before we take off the screws and go on the other side. Excuse me while I put on my dust collector here. I think you'll still be able to hear me okay. It's a very hard wood. Should turn really good. We've got the end grain right here. I want to make sure I really get that. That end grain will sprout on you when you put a finish on there. And it can be a little bit of a problem later on trying to get a nice finish. There we go. This is really hard, almost like walnut. It's got a lot of nice wavy figuring in it. Very hard wood, a little chatoyance right here. I know it's not walnut. It doesn't turn like walnut. These shavings don't look like walnut. But it does have a certain appearance like walnut. The more you turn, the more you'll find out that you can actually tell some of the wood you're turning, or at least the general species, based on the shavings that you're getting off the wood. Also, the direction of the fibers, which in this case are kind of radiating out this way, but not entirely. It's a very unusual piece of wood. Put it in reverse, a little backwards sanding. Like to go in both directions when I'm sanding. It sometimes gets those little grains that you wouldn't feel going one direction, but you do feel going the other direction. Trying to take out any trace marks of tools, or sometimes you have a little bit of hardwood and softwood, and hardwood and softwood, and that hardwood can stick up and make it look like you didn't do a good job of finishing your wood. So, a little extra time sanding sometimes it makes all the difference in how the final appearance of the wood is. So, it's good to spend the time on it. Okay. This is 120. I'm going to go to 240. The only reason I went back down, even though I said it was pretty good, was that I wanted to get rid of any little high points that I couldn't see but I could feel. Now we're at 240 and it's just kind of gliding over it. It's not taking up nearly as much as that 120 was. Have to pay special attention to that end grain. You also don't want to muddy your end grain, and what happens when mudding your end grain often is because you kind of mashed the ends of the wood in instead of actually sanding them and cutting them off. And when you mush them in, it makes for a muddy look instead of a nice, crisp, clean look when you put the finish on. So you want to make sure that you're really basically slicing off those fibers. I'll work on this just a little bit right here. Make sure I like how that looks right there. So you're going to do a finish on it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to clean that off a little bit. And let's go with our old favorite here today, our tung oil and lemon seed. See how it makes it pop up a little bit. Let's see here. That brightens it up a little bit. Let me get this part facing the camera for you. Can you see that chatoyance right there where it's popping up? It's really, really nice. It has it on two sides. And give a coat on the inside there. And we'll let that soak in. It's pretty hard wood, like I said, and it's pretty dried. It should probably only take a couple coats of this, but we'll see. Oh, hi, board. High-end pins. I'm sorry. Let me turn this off. I'm sorry. I apologize. Ah, that gets a little loud. Okay, Dan. I'm glad you went off to. Okay. Everyone, go get your meal. Don't starve yourself, but feel free to come back. I'm going to be here for a while, so feel to come back when you come up. It's not walnut. It really isn't. Like I said, you can look at the shavings. They're kind of an orangish or light brown look to them, and they're not shaving like walnut does. So it's not walnut. It is a hard wood. I thought it was blood orange. It has a little bit of a scent of orange to it, just a very vague. Like this point, like I said, I've had the piece of wood for a long time, so that's a possibility. So you were asking about high end pins. It depends on where you're at, and I'll say this: some guys are selling pins out there for $75. They use acrylics. I don't like acrylics. I think they smell really bad, but some guys can make them shine really good and make them look pretty, and they certainly dazzle the people with the colors that they can do. I mean, I understand all that, but $75 seems pretty high nowadays for me. I would not spend $75 unless I was buying a cross or a very high end pin in general. And these kits are not exactly high end pins. So for if you're making them for a company that's asking you to make them for them, if they're not asking for them to be marked, if they're just wanting to sell or to give them to employees or to sell them in their place or whatever, um, I think if you sold it to them for about $15 or so, and then they sold it for whatever they thought they could get for it, you're getting 15 out of it. Let's see, if the pin kit's costing you about $7, you're doubling the price of the pin of that. So you're not making very much. You really have to think about that, because if you're getting your pin kits for anywhere from 5 to $7 to $10 or more, some of those are pretty fancy high end pins, especially the click pins. They can be a little more expensive. If you're doing a slimline pin, a little cheaper. Um, but you really have to think about what is it costing you to make that thing. The time, not just your time, because you're never going to get your time back. If you want to work for $3 an hour, start doing wood turning. But it's going to be two things: it's the marketplace, and it is the desirability, I guess, as much as anything. I usually start out high on my pins, and I don't discount them unless I just don't want to take them home or whatever. And that's kind of the way I've been with it. I'll put them out there. I've got some. I'll show you what I've got. I've got some little mini pins that are actually keychains, and I'm going to sell them for $7.50 each. Now they didn't cost me very much because I bought a massive amount of kits all at once. I bought them in bulk, so they didn't cost me much to make, and the blanks don't cost me much. So I'm making money on every one, but I'm not making a ton of money on it. Especially when you consider all the time it takes to prep those darn things and put them together and all that. But I'll sell them for $7.50 or $10, and maybe two for 15, something like that. Maybe do a discount on if they buy two. I used to do pen sets with a pen and a pencil. Pen and pencils are kind of hard to sell nowadays because everybody looks at you and says, "I don't need a pencil. I just need a pen." And I'm sometimes surprised if they even need a pen anymore. I mean, they're not teaching kids in California. They're not even teaching kids how to write cursive anymore. So I'm not sure what you're going to do with a pen. Nobody writes checks hardly, except old people like me, and so I'm not sure about what you should be charging in your area. Some people say that they're selling for $25. So I would check and see what other things are selling for in at the place you're at, and kind of use that as your guide. That's best advice. I'm sorry, I wish I could give you better advice, but not knowing your market that well, it's really hard for me to say. Okay, well, this took one coat, and it seems to be laying pretty much on the surface, and it's looking beautiful. That is a gorgeous piece of wood. Okay, so I'm going to buff it up here a little bit, and we'll turn it around, and we'll go on the inside. Oops, let me go here. There we go. Yeah, there's a little line right there I just don't really like. I may go back and work on that later because I don't like, there's a little line showing up there. In fact, I'm going to do it now before we even go any further, but I'm not going to keep you guys from watching the rest of this. So I'm going to do this just really quick. I'm going to get my scraper out here. And I'm going to turn it just very lightly. I'm not sure why that's jumping. See how it's taking out more here than it is here. Something's making that jump. Okay, well, let's try this. See that line? You see right there, there's a dark spot that this isn't hitting, and it is, so there was a slight little swale in there that I wasn't feeling. So I got to keep doing this until that disappears. Otherwise, I'll regret that later. I'll never get a good finish on it. Okay, sorry to make you guys have to watch that, but I need to go back and fix that now. And this is kind of part of the process sometimes. You got to make sure that you're getting all of it. And now it's exposing a little bit of that end grain. So I'm going to make sure that we get all of that taken out. I'm not going to spin it this time. I'm just going to go laterally back and forth. Better turn this on. I don't want to breathe all this. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button or subscribe. I appreciate it. And feel free to jump into the comments section there, folks. I mean, this is a live with comments, so we want to talk. This is a community effort. I really encourage people to ask questions, leave comments. Nobody's feelings are going to get hurt here. We try and moderate a little bit. Okay. There, I think that took that off. There we go. Now I can just polish that up and brush it off, and we'll be ready to go. And I'm just leaving that powder on there because it helps scrub the little places in the wood. It just helps to the scratching the fibers off a little bit. So I'm not going to even complain about that. We'll fight it. Not that I'm a perfectionist, but I don't want to put all the effort in and then have a bad finish. It seems counterproductive to what I'm trying to accomplish here. But plus, if I'm trying to show you guys how to do it properly, I need to be doing it properly myself, right? So you're holding me up to the same standard. Okay. We will hit it with a 240 for just a second, and then get some finish on it. And again, that's why I use that tongue oil, because it does not it doesn't, it hardens the wood, but it doesn't make it impossible to go back and re-sand if you have to. I'm seeing something right here. I don't know about that. Okay, let's see what we can do this time. Yeah, I think that took out that scratch look, that high-end look. Probably need to do a little bit more later on, but I think we got it. What do you think? Does that look pretty nice? Make sure I'm getting into all the spaces. Okay. And probably when I'm finishing this later on, it'll probably need another coat and then a little bit of wax, kind of brighten it up a bit, but this is at least going to strengthen it. There we go. Okay, much better. Okay, so we can take this off. And get our drill here. We're going to have one other little issue to deal with. Let's get you in the picture here. Oops. So, kind of had overkill on this one. I grabbed the one with 8 holes in it instead of 4, and I didn't need more than 4 to hold it on, but what the heck. Come on. Oh, that wants to give me a little trouble. There we go. Now, we have one little issue which I haven't dealt with yet, and that is because I had a screw that broke right in here. Normally, they don't. I torqued it stupidly for my own personally stupid reason, and it snapped on me. And then I realized it was not a stainless steel screw like I usually use. One that got mixed in there with the others, and I'm not going to be able to take that off right now. So I'm not going to make you guys watch through that. I will fix that on my own time, and we will turn the rest of that later. But as you can see, it is a pretty little piece of wood, and that will hold. That will definitely hold. So instead, I'm going to go right into our big project. This is cork oak. And cork oak has a very thick bark on it. As you can see here, it's about 1.5 inches in places, 2 inches. In fact, I've actually already cut down some of it. And it's not always on really, really hard. I mean, it tries to be on hard, but the idea of cork oak is that you put a little plunger piece into it and you twist it and pull it out, and you've got corks for your wine bottles. And it's been around for thousands of years and works really great. Well, I got a hold of a part of a tree that they were cutting down, and it makes interesting turning, but you have a couple of challenges. If you want to keep the live bark, and I am keeping the live bark here, you have to make sure that you secure it with a little CA glue, and you need to make sure that there aren't any other cracks that you haven't been aware of. And I've been working on a lot of cracks because the way this piece of wood was cut, and it was not cut by me, it was cut by a company that was cutting down trees. There's an extra pith right here. The tree was much wider than this, but the pith, for some reason, for a branch or something, was right here, and it started to crack. You notice it's not down here on the other side, so it was at an angle too. So I've glued all this to my best ability, and we're going to have some challenges here because the other one is you had to use really deep screws to get into some actual wood because this is very soft. You can put your thumb into this. It's very soft like cork. So I had to put these very long screws in, go way down in to hopefully purchasing some wood to hold this. And I also had to take a little bit off the top here because there was so much extra weight on this side because this is one big solid piece of wood. And over here, it wasn't. It was causing this to wobble even at moderate speeds because it's throwing that extra weight. And it took me a while to get this down to at least where it wasn't basically trying to walk off the table and down the street. I mean, it was really, really, really wobbling. There was a lot of weight. This was probably around 10 or 11 pounds when I started. It is dry. It's been sitting in my house for about a year. So it is pretty dry at this point. It's just a matter of how it's going to turn up inside. So this I am going to need my mask for. So Robert G, you have a girlfriend that's talking to a lawyer about, oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't want to get between a woman and her car, that's for sure. I'll have to catch back up on that later. In my other life, I did a lot of legal work. I'm not going to offer any suggestions on that other than let the attorneys direct the way. But if you don't think the attorney's working in your favor, ask another attorney. Because not all attorneys agree on the same way to approach a problem. I can definitely tell you that. And I've fought enough of them, and I've won enough cases to know that's a fact. Hey, don't get down on West Virginia. It's a nice place to visit. Marshall University is in West Virginia, isn't it? I've been to Marshall University. That was a really really pretty town, and I love the college. So what are they? The Bisons? The Buff Bisons? I think. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to go really slow at first, just to take off some of this stuff. I'm going to back off the camera just a little bit so you can see what's going on here. There we go. Now you can see what I'm doing. This is the whole thing about riding the ball, just kind of in slow motion. Mostly taking the glue off. See, when you're cutting the cork, the cork part, it's a lot different than when you're cutting the wood part. Okay, I'll see if I can step up the speed just a little bit. A little bit of elbow, not much. Okay, it's not perfect, but at least that's getting it. And you can see these cracks. They are big cracks that go deep in. I will have to see how deep they are. I'm not sure how thin I can make this bowl based on the cracks. It could be, if we're lucky, they're just surface cracks, but there's been a lot of surface already. And by the way, you'll notice what I'm scraping. If you look closely at this, I'm not sure if you can see. I'll try and hold it this way. One wing is slightly higher than the other. It's called an asymmetric turn. And what that means is that this one's going to be a little higher than this one. So when you're sharpening, leave this one a little higher. That way, when I'm doing a shearing cut like this one's not in the way. Only the one in the bottom is getting it. It gives me a little different edge for doing that. So it makes the tool a little more versatile for me, and I like using it that way. So okay, so I think we got that's pretty good. We'll have to go back and use the scraper and scrape this out and shave this off just a little bit, and then we'll be able to do the bottom. When I'm doing this, I'm looking up here for any high spots that I can address as I go across to this. That's looking much better. I have to deal with that, but I think we've got the general shape. Good. Now the fun part, the bottom. Got a hole right here. And coming across here. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Well, the crack's still there, but it's kind of minimal. Let's see what we can do. Okay. I'll start straightening out this crack. Or this, this, level this out a little bit. Okay. Negative 8 stapler. I don't like that. That's too much bounce. I'm getting the bounce from hitting this. And I don't like that too much. Let's see. Try this. The reason you're getting these chopped pieces is because it's kind of round and that's the end of that cut, and then starts a new cut, and it gets there, it stops again, comes here, it stops again. We got these rough cuts down here. I think, well, I really don't want to go too much deeper, but I think I'm going to have to try and take that out. So let's go with this and let's see what we can do. I might be able to do a little something here. Let's see how that works. Yeah, it's deep enough, but I'm going to have to go all the way down with this. It's starting to rattle on me a little bit too. I'm not sure why. Let me go from the center. I would hype up the speed, but the imbalance is just a little bit too rough on this. It would make the turning a lot easier. Make sure I've got good connection here. Nothing's moving. Okay. Because it seems asymmetric now for some reason. It's not running smoothly. It's wobbling on me, and I'm not sure where the wobble is coming from. All these screws are connected in well. There's no movement there, but I'm looking at this, and this is not moving smoothly. That concerns me. And it could be the weight from the cracks. Could be a lot of things. Just a slight difference there. Let's see. See that? I think what happened if I was the belt. If I was the bet, these cracks has widened a little bit, and that caused it to be a little bit out of alignment. That's very possible. What do you guys think? Well, we got 235 in here. Or 259 now. I'd like to see a lot more likes. We'd like to get to at least 100 likes. That'd be great. 31 likes is a little low, folks. Hopefully, I'm doing something to entertain you all. But I appreciate it, Robert and Mr. Handicrafts there. I appreciate all of you actually. And yeah, something definitely shifted. And it's not anything on here. This is solid as can be. The hold is solid. So it had to be the wood changing. So we're going to have to be aware of that and catch it now. Oh, there's the walk on me, see? That's what I was talking about. And it's starting to straighten out a little bit. That's just weird. I'm going to see if I can get you a little bit better angle here. There we go. Maybe pull it just a touch. There we go. Get you a little better angle on that, because that's, yeah. You hear it tick, 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 tick. It's ticking, hitting on this every time it comes around. Let's see. Yeah, it comes down. It just really drags and catches every time. Huh. Let's see. Whoa, see that? It actually caught right there. It's right there somewhere is where it's catching. That's interesting. Okay. Why are we way off? Way off whack again? I don't know. Nothing's bent my shaft or anything, but that's weird. It went from being round to being not round again. You can see right here, it's wobbling here. So something, someone, or somehow, I'm going to bring up the tailstock again. If anything happens to me, call 911 or let my wife know. I appreciate it. I'm not sure where we're going with this thing. It may end up being a lost cause, but I don't give up easy. See? You know, it's not rounding out. Just wobble, wobble. More and more and more. Huh. I'm not sure, unless this whole thing is coming loose somehow inside there. It could be that the faceplate is not holding into the wood enough, and it's the looseness of the cork. So I'm going to try and really. Well, that causes something to crack. I heard that. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right, folks? But I'm going to stay out of the range of it over here. Every time I think I've got this rounded out, it starts getting unrounded again. It's just chunky. I'm not sure what's going on, but not wobbling as much right now. And it's going wobbly again. Just as soon as I get it straight, it starts to wobble again. I think that's correct. See if I can straighten this out. Keep turning. I'm not going to have anything left of this, but I want to get sure I get it right. Just knew it this time. I like that sound. I think we're going to be headed for a major problem down the way here. But I got this pretty much straight. Got a little bit of dropping gap there. Let's see what we can do. Ooh, that's not good. That's not even grabbing. Come on, got it. I don't want that one. I got two of these. Let's put this aside. Let's try this. The center is running perfectly now. It's not wobbling. That's good. Yeah, I think we got that bottom a lot smoother. Now this popping out right here. That I can work with. Nothing like a little blue Danube in the background while I'm doing this. Okay, you saw that was coming up nice and feathery. I think we got rid of that problem. Not all of them, that's for sure. But I think we got rid of that problem. Now we got to try and make a tenon. And that's going to be an issue. Let's try this. Raise it up a little bit. There we go. I went up a little too high. Okay. Where are we at here, guys? 388 watching. That's great. You saw me fix that problem, I hope. Your money is on the screws bent, shifted or bent when they're due thick bark. That's a very good possibility. That's why I said I didn't think that it was going to get. It was into the deep enough. Plus the catches. This is a possible hospitalization job here. Yeah. At worst, it'll be a cautionary tale to everybody else if anything happens here. How about if we call it that? We'll call it that. It's a cautionary tale. But I'm going to persevere. Please hit that like button if you haven't already, or subscribe. Not that we always do dangerous stuff. Oh, one thing I did want to cover is I've seen some people lately turning on this side of the bowl. You should never, ever, ever let the sharp, pointy edge of your chisel or even a carbide go beyond this point in the center. You always want to be working towards the center and working out. You never, ever want to go on this side for two reasons. One, it's the upside. I mean, look at this. If I can demonstrate. This is spinning like this, and you're on the upside. Your cutting edge is not on it. Even if you're using a carbide, your cutting edge is not on it. And second of all, what it's going to do is it's going to take that and it's going to drag it like this. It's going to cause you nothing but grief. You always want to be on this side with the cutting edge towards the wood so that you are shearing. You see how that shears the wood? That's what you want it to be doing. Now I'm going to have to fix that too. But you want to shear the wood. Okay. It's a very hard wood, I can tell you that. I'm going to catch a little bit of that crack, but I'm going to try and get around it. I might have to go a little bit deeper on this one than I normally do, simply because I'm dealing with that crack. Okay? Bear with me here. Might need to make that a little bit bigger. Let's see. Nope. Okay, I'm in there. Now, how do I do this without this stretching this out? Well, that's going to take a little bit of work. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to use a little bit of glue on there. Strengthen it a little bit before I bother to do anything else. So let me get my glue real quick. Yes, we are putting an awful lot of effort into a piece of wood, but it's instructive, and that's why I want to do it. Okay. Yeah, someone have Ryan on speed dial. He's got my number in case something should happen here. I appreciate that. Just in case someone, make sure you don't. Does anyone know the number to 911, as they used to say? Well, the number to 911 is the number to 911, actually. And actually, if you saw my video that I did on safety, I told you that this little device in here that's playing the music actually also has an emergency feature on it, and I can call it until I can just yell out to it to that I'm having an issue. I don't want to say it out loud, and it will respond and it will contact the authorities and let them know right away, and get me some help. So I'm going to take this off temporarily so I can do a little glue work, and we'll puck it right back up and sand it and go to the inside. So bear with me for just a moment. I hope I got some left in this because I was running out the other day and I haven't got a chance to fix it yet. No, don't do that to me. One of the problems with super glue is it's fixing itself. Or CA glue, I should say. Oh, this is the thick stuff, that's why. I'm going to go to the thin stuff, I think. It'll do for what I'm trying to do here. I want to have to try and get the thick stuff to dry. And I'm going to go around the inside of this thing and let the glue dry inside there. Just a little bit. Okay, everybody hold your breath while it's going off. Still drying. See little puffs of smoke coming up from it. Give it another little shot. And I keep my glue in my refrigerator here in the shop. It keeps it fresh longer. The CA glue does have a life on it, and it's not a very big one. Okay. And we're going to have to fix this just a little bit. I want to make sure it's dry. Let me check with you guys for just a second. Hi, Monicum. Hi, Werner. Robert, you actually had a customer, a neighbor that asked you what the number was to 911? It's sort of like the guy who says, "How much is this at the dollar store?" Right? Until, of course, the dollar store became a $1.25 store and a $1.50 and $5 store and everything else. Now nothing's a dollar anymore at the dollar store, but that used to be the running joke also. So, well, it's still got 221 in here. I'd like to see 100 likes if we can. I'm not sure how many likes we've got right now, but it'd be nice to see that go up a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can, if this is hardened enough, we can fix this a little. I'm going to roll this down just a hair. Okay, so we got the glue in there. We've got a somewhat good. Let's see. There we go. See if that's a little better. Have they cleaned out? Okay, now I got to go in and make sure it's got a dovetail to it. Okay. I'm going to try this on there just to see if it rides true before I turn it around, get this sanded and turn it around. Pretty close. not going to be 100%. I didn't expect it to be because this thing is just wonky as can be. But I think we can square it out as we go. But okay, so let me get a little sanding on this. As you can see, it's a very hard oak. It does not give any. So try and keep it going good. You know, if I could put the video with this, I'd probably be able to sell it for $1,000. But as it is, when I'm all done, I'd be lucky if I get 25 for this bowl. Which may end up just being something I did just to kind of show that I could do it. And show you guys a few tricks along the way. And we had a good time. But I wanted to give it a shot. It can be a really, really, really pretty wood. I'm going to show you. Oh, God. It's actually starting to look like it's wobbling again. Mostly it's just a visual thing. It's not so much here. But it just looks like it is. Part of it's because of this imbalance of the wood and the size here. Okay. And I know we do have a football game coming up for some of you. Buffalo playing Miami tonight, which shouldn't be much of a game, but you never know. Sometimes the teams that you don't think are going to do much are the ones that do the most. Or another team takes them for granted and doesn't put their best foot forward. So that's why they play the game. Otherwise, why would you bother even showing up? Right? So I will be respectful of the fact that I know some of you are going to want to be watching the game. New battery needed. Okay. Fortunately, I got lots of them. The thing about lithium batteries, they don't go downhill until they just go down. They just basically stop running. Until then, you get pretty much the full power. Now, this has some really pretty grain in it. And I'll show you that in a minute here when I put the finish on it. You're going to look at it and go, wow, that does pop. And really looks good. And there's a trick for darkening. There's a trick for darkening this bark so it doesn't show that you kind of cut off some of it. You can make that dark too. It'll pre-darken itself pretty much when I put the tung oil on it. But there are ways of using a little bit of steam to kind of finish that process off a little bit more. Make it just look a little bit nicer. That is really, really, really hard wood right there. It does not want to be sanded. And end grain is really tough. I have a feeling it's going to be tough on the inside too. And so far, the bark where I put the CA glue on last night seems to be holding really well. That's good. That's encouraging. Okay, one last piece of sanding, and we'll move on to putting a little finish on here. All right, well, let's see here. Let's do a little finish on there. Let me turn that off. And some of this finish is going to go down in those cracks. That's okay. And you see how this starts to come to life a little bit. And this is why we use the brush, because there's little divots. Even after all that sanding, there are little divots in there that just don't want to get filled. So we have to kind of force it in with the brush. Gotta say, Harbor Freight puts the best cheap brushes around, I gotta tell you. These little chip brushes are perfect for this. And at like $9.99 for 100 of them, it's a pretty good deal. 10 cents a piece, and you can use them for months. They don't go bad. They don't with this particular finish, they don't get sticky. I can just keep using it and using it. And with other things like a lacquer or a shellac or something, obviously you wouldn't be able to reuse it because it would stick. All the bristles would stick together real quick and not be usable. But what do you think of this? What do you think of this right here? It's looking pretty nice, isn't it? It's amazing how a piece of wood can change with just a little bit of liquid finish. And you have to be able to see the beauty in the wood before you turn it so you can envision what it's going to look like later. And this is kind of what I envisioned it to be. It has a little bit, it does have those oak looks to it in places, right? Very much so. And then, like I said, it is cork oak, but it's also very swirly. Boy, it just sucked that right in. There's almost not a single wet spot left from where I put that in already. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. I know we're getting into your late times too. I'm certainly appreciative of your helping out. Please make sure everybody sees all the other guys that get all the other website or channel sites if you can. Get them up there for the guys, Whacking Shack and Timber and yours. Make sure you put yours up there. Boondocks and Dan's and everybody else's that you can think of. Or guys, if you want to put up your websites, that's perfectly fine, or your channel sites, that's perfectly fine with me. As long as you're a subscribed member here, I have no problem with that. Well, wood already looks more nourished, if nothing else. And we don't get too upset or throw tools in the shop, mostly because I don't want to have to replace them. And I don't want to break anything, and I'm not throwing them at anybody except myself, basically. So why would I want to do that? So I just wait and I see and I go, oh, well, this actually is looking pretty nice. So even if it doesn't get any further than this, that's a very pretty bowl. I'll see if I can move the camera here for a second, just so that you kind of see what I see. I really like that. That's quite the thing, isn't it? It really has, even though it's dangerous and it adds cracks and everything else. Boy, does that really look nice. I really like that. So okay. It's still kind of sucking it all in. I'm thinking maybe I need to put a third on here. Don't like to hurry it up too much. What do we got going on here? Hey, Chase. We got new beginnings in here. Glad you could join us. We are wrestling with a cork oak. And so far it's been winning, but hopefully I've tamed it down enough and I can get it rounded enough here that we will be able to move on to going the other side of this, the inside of this. And we've got everybody holding on to the 911 operator just in case for me, because you never know. This was pretty. It kept getting unround as I rounded it, and that was kind of perplexing. But I think we got a handle on it. I think I can. I'm not sure if I can, but I think I can. Get down in those crevices. Protect me. There we go. Okay, guys. I hope you will consider subscribing if you haven't. I know many of you have over the last few months, or actually for the last few weeks. We've had a lot of new subscribers, and I hope they're coming back regularly. Oh, thanks. It does look amazing. You're right. If I could just leave it like this and not have to go to the inside, I'd probably be a real happy guy. But I've got to go on the inside, and this is only by way about a 3/8 inch miter. I didn't go much deeper than I normally do, but I did go a little bit deeper to try and hold on with that crack running right here. That can be dangerous. So we're going to kind of polish this off a little bit. Because I really like to run the speed up, and I've had to keep the speed really low because of all the imbalances in this thing. If I'd have let this go up to like 800 to 1,000, I would have had some real issues. I think it probably would have come flying off and taken out my garage door, or me, or both of us. So there we go. That's a pretty good finish for now. It will need more buffing later, obviously, but that's at least enough to get the wood hardened a little bit. Okay. I'm going to do this right here so you can see what I was talking about. This one only had 4 screws. What I did is I used a Forstner bit, a large one, about a 3-inch Forstner bit, to flatten out the top here so that I had a flat spot to go into. And maybe I should have gone down more into the wood. I didn't. I just flattened the cork, because quite honestly, trying to hold this with one hand and driving down the thing with the drill press on the other, this thing wanted to go flying off in my hands about 16 times. Not a very safe thing, because I had this high end here, and it was hitting the high end and not the low end here, so it was catching this and going wang, wang, and yeah, so such is life, huh? All right, let's try to take this off of here. As I said, I had a pretty good sized screw, but they may not have been all the way down into the wood, even at that. I might have needed 2-inch screws. Yeah, that's about 1.5 inches or so, or maybe 1.75 inches. So, probably should have used longer ones. That's my own stupid fault. Don't blame the wood, blame the operator. I'm the operator. Now, this is going to be fun. Now, I'm not sure 100% if I've got a good fit on here or not. I'm going to have to see. Let's see. Okay, everybody, dial 9 and 1, but hold off the other one until I push the button here. Let's see what happens. That's running pretty true. Not perfect, but it's running pretty true. About what I expected. So that means the connection that I put in there actually is working. I'm still getting a little of that finish coming out of here. So I want to let that dry in there a little bit first. We're going to take a little tiny bit of a break and just talk for a minute. So throw any questions you got my way. like is my insurance paid up? Things like that. Does my wife get any extra if I'm gone? No, she doesn't, by the way. Someone might want to mention it to Whacking Check. Then I might be the new guy that's getting something thrown at him. I know he's always been the go-to for that. Hi, Stephen. There's Stefan and Stanislav. Good deal. Okay. Well, I just want to make sure it's a little bit dried off before I start, because I don't want finish flying around the room if I don't have to. Just want to make sure it's in there and dried. This feels amazing. It's nice and smooth. Couple of little tiny in-grain rough spots that need to be sanded out again. But overall, this because it is hard oak, it shines up and sands up really nice. This is very, very smooth right here. And it does look amazing. So get my big paws out of the way so you guys can see. But now the fun part. How do we approach this? Put my tools away. Okay. There you go. You can see a little better. All right. Well, let's see. I'm going to try and get some turning done on this. Don't know. My phone may die out before I get through it all, but we're going to give it a try. Got 200 in there now. Let's please hit the like button if you can. Appreciate it. All right. Going to the big dog. Let's see what I can do here. Whoop. Stupid me. Wasn't paying attention. In fact, I think I'll go in at a little bit of an angle here. At least until I get that cleared away. I'm just being real slow and careful while I remove some of this. You want to put any pressure on that tenon. Okay, let's see how it's coming out. So we're out to about here. We got to get in, so we're getting into this. think I can go because we're hitting some hardwood right here and some bark right here, so that's where it gets a little bit catchy. So hear that? That's that hardwood. Okay. I know it's turning really slow, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting. See, because I've got an inclusion here. This is actual wood, not bark. So I got this bark, then I've got this oak inclusion from, I'm not sure where exactly. The bark was really weird on this one, so. I'm trying to get something solid. I really don't want to. I don't really want to put too much pressure on the on that tenon with all this loose stuff flying around. Now, that's good on this side. When it comes to here, this is almost creates a crack because of the inclusion, and then that's all bark. So it's just going from soft to hard to soft to hard. And speed would help, but I don't want it to start flying on me either. Let's see what I can do. Very light cuts. Okay, very, very light cuts. Come on, a little better. That soft center there really concerns me. Okay, let's take a look at that and take a look at our hold. The hold looks good. Oops. You know, when I do this, I don't crank on it. I just turn it, and if you feel for any looseness, if there's no looseness, I leave it alone because you don't want to keep cranking it out. I see a lot of guys, they press down and crank harder, and that's not going to give you any better grip. You just need to make sure that the grip you've got is still good. Okay, so it's really, really important. So you still got a little bit of that finish coming out of the outside there. Yeah, so we got bark that comes all the way to here, like at an angle from here to here. That's all bark. This is all wood with no bark. So what I don't want to do is have this coming around and all of a sudden catch this and just chunk out a huge piece. So I'm going to have to try and do most of mine going this direction so that I don't catch it and jam it and lose like half the wood or half the bark. So what do we got here? Yeah, well, I've turned cork oak a couple times and it came out pretty good. This one's just really kind of getting the better part of me. Hi, Mike. Hi, Andrea. Everybody in there? Great. And please continue to hit the like button if you haven't, or subscribe. And we will wish me luck here, guys. I'm going to try and kick up a little bit more. Okay. When you're coming up the sides, you always want to finish it all the way up. You don't want to just do a partial. There you go. Yeah. Clear out a little space. I can get this about. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's really hard to get that way. Well, I'm going to experiment here. Guys, let's do a little experiment. Let's take out a good sized scraper. I don't have my big scraper. I saw LJ with a huge one the other day, and boy, I'm jealous. I really want to get that 1.5-inch scraper. So let's try this. I think I need to adjust this a little bit. I'm not much into opera, but it keeps my mind off of things. So, hope you don't mind that in the background. Key here is not to push in. Let the tool do the work. I can hear it clacking every time it hits this. Hear that? Yeah. I'm hearing that every single time I go through there. I'm going to try and angle it just a little bit. Okay. So far, so good. Let's try going a little bit more. Whoa. You want to do that? Try that. Okay. One of the things I look for is I look for the changing colors here. When you see it starting to get darker out here or right here, you know that the wood is changing again, and you want to stop and take another peek. Now this does show me that my screws were at least a little bit into the wood here, here, and here. Well, I did have wood contact. I don't know how much I had wood contact, but I did have some wood contact beyond the cork. I just want to see. Oh, it's nice and smooth. Well, it's getting us into this, so go back to the gouge again. I'm getting this out to here now. It was over here, now it's out to here. Let's see if we can maybe get underneath it a little bit. I don't know if I can. Holding my breath. There you go. Yeah, that was a little bit of a challenging turn. Yeah, see, now I'm trying to straighten that out. I'd like to make this thinner, but I'm just not sure I'm going to be comfortable making this thinner. What do you guys think? Should I try and make this thinner, or do you think I'm okay having this like 3/4 of an inch or so around here? I don't really like to have big chunky bowls. I like to have them a little thinner, but I'm just not this one with all the cracks that we encountered on the outside if I want to go that deep. Hey Johnny, how you doing? LJ? LJ, that's a good question for you. So I got this cork oak with all these cracks in it. I've poured glue down it and they just disappeared. Never shows back up again. So I think they're pretty deep. And when I get down in here, it's a beautiful piece of wood, but I'm just not certain about about how deep, how thick I want to make these walls. I'm thinking this is about as good as I'm going to go. But I'd be interested in seeing your opinions, guys. And I need to do a little something here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. That was just to take a little bit of the sharpness off of here. Smooth it out just a little bit. There we go. I see I get a little bit more speed. I think I'm going to have to sharpen this tool here pretty soon. So you can really feel that. I can really feel when I got out from the core wood and started to get into this. You can just feel the difference. This M2 steel holds an edge a long time. Yeah, I think I don't want to catch that. I was just about to get a catch. Yeah, I'm gonna sharpen this real quick. It only take me a few seconds. Fortunately. So just talk amongst yourselves or call your friends and tell them to hit the like button for us. Or tell them to subscribe and join the group. There we are. Yeah. Just that quick. Got a nice new sharpen on there and go back to work. Not sure why I'm getting a wobble here. I know I still have an unbalanced bowl, even at this point. I've got a lot more weight here because it's all solid. And this is cork over here, so I've got a lot more weight. Probably have an extra pound or so of weight throwing around every time this is coming around. And remember, this is cork oak. This is not the oak burl that I was doing a couple weeks ago. Still got another piece of that left to turn here soon too. See if we've gotten blown through that now. You see now that all that bark that was coming all the way in here is now way over here on the edge. And we're getting more and more regular wood. Well, irregular wood because it feels a little odd to me, but we'll see. Good news is it's all wood now. I think we got a little hump in the middle. There. Now you can see some of those colors that we're going to see on the inside. I haven't encountered any cracking yet, so I'm able to go back after I've turned this down and turn it out until I see a crack, and then stop. I do see this. There's nothing on the outside. This is some sort of thing that's going on that was not on the outside of the bowl. And that happens a lot. You find a lot of those things. Mims, are you in here? Hey, Mims. Yeah, you were right, Dan. I did have to sharpen soon. Yeah, well, you know what they say about sharpening. You always sharpen 10 minutes after you should have done it. So I try and get ahead of it. Hi, George and Lucadio. Yeah, Mike. I am asking. Has anybody else worked with cork oak? I know I have, and I think I gave a piece to Ryan. I think he turned on. I'm not sure, but all you that are in here, please do hit the subscribe and like button if you can, or at least like button, and please leave your comments too. And we're open to everybody commenting. Now, I do have a little issue here because it's tearing out a little bit where that bark meets that oak there, and I don't want to lose that. So I'm going to be real careful. I think I'm going to go in with my smaller scraper here and just kind of get that worked out a little bit if I can. LJ, LJ, this is what I was saying earlier. I could really use that 1.5 inch scraper you got, and I went and looked at them last night, and I was tempted to order one. I want to make sure I get an M2. I'm not sure, was yours a fine buy? It looked like it was, and but I'm trying to find the right one. I didn't see one with the fine buy black handle on it on their website, so they may have changed that out. I don't know, but I like that it's 22 inches long or so, and although I will say these Benjamin Bests that I got right here, they came as a set of two for like $75. Are really, really nice scrapers. I've been able to put a good edge on them. And, ooh, as you can see, they do a pretty good job. I think we still got that issue here that I was talking about. Right there, just a little bit. But it's starting to go up the wall now just a little. So as we get down deeper, we'll get past that. And we'll be dealing with this. And this thing, oh, it even breaks out with my finger. So that gives me a little concern because I think that's where like bark and oak met or something at one time. There's also a little stress piece right here. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Let's go to it, see what we can do. When you're turning, you should also be listening. What I was hearing is every time it was coming out, I was hearing this bang, 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 bang. What that was is this rough. You see this rough stuff here? We're going to be going through some more rough stuff, which is probably from this pith. We're going through the pith now, so we're going to be getting some rough pith wood that we're going through while we're going through these other pieces. So it's just one surprise after another. Plus, it sounds like a railroad train as you get out here, where you're spinning centrifugally faster. You're spinning at the same speed. You're spinning more volume of product turning over here than you are in the center, where it's just turning kind of slowly in a sense. You hear that tick, 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 tick? You do that tick, 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 tick. It's coming around. Now, see, this is kind of moving up the sides a little bit as I do this, because I've come in a little bit. I need to go back out with this scraper to kind of get some of that out of the way. Okay. Now see how big that's getting? Can you see this in here? It's getting bigger and hollower as we go. And it sounds hollow right under here. So I have a big concern as we go. I think I'm going to use a scraper for a while. I might need to just burnish this just a little bit. Take the old one off. Trying to get a new burr on here. I think that's it. Got it? Let's see. Okay. That's really hard in the center now. able to. It's breaking out even more and more as I go. Well, okay. Well, let's try this. I'm going to go to a carbide for a minute just to see what we can get out of there. Yeah, that is a big hole in there, and it is. I can get my whole finger down in there. Yeah, the whole tool gets in there. So we're going to have to work around that somehow. This keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's right up here. And as I'm turning. Like a scab, you want to just keep picking at it. Yeah, it really rattles around when you get in there. It's getting hot too. It's getting hot in there. See, I do have a bottom feed. What do you guys think? Hi, Danish. Hi, Mike again. Hi, Leslo. Is that Leslo? Lots of new people in here. That's great. Please hit the like button if you can. We're going at this. I'm going to try something different. See if I can find it here. There we go. I don't know if this will work or not. It might be a bad move. We'll see. Yeah, that's probably a bad move. It was just a thought. And not a very good one at that. But, you know, as you're thinking things through, you kind of try different things. Don't think the negative rate scraper will do it either. But I can try. Well, one thing you got to admit, and I hate to say this out loud, but you kind of have to admit that, like I said, very small miter tenon can really hold if you do it properly. This thing so far, knock on wood, has held just fine, even with all this beating and so forth that it's been taking. See, now it's breaking down into here. And I think that's all going to be hollow. And we'll see. That could be why I was getting some of this imbalance too, because there's hollow spots in here. That also goes against this heavy side over here. This is heavy, this is light, and then it's also hollow. That also makes it swing, the weight swing as it goes. Well, if I could just get past this pith, yeah, I don't know. Something's thumping there. What's thumping as it's going around? Oh, I see what it is. I got punky wood, I got hardwood. That's why I'm getting thumping. Gotta get past that pumpkin stuff. And this is just cracking and cracking and cracking. It's going to crack right here too. It's going to break right there. I can see that coming now too. All right, guys. Yep, I'm now down into here. That crack's going to go all the way down into here now. So I'm not sure where we're going to go with this. Fingers crossed. I don't like that sound. Okay. Go deeper. Man. That's another branch. Keep getting more branch pieces coming in here. We are getting near the bottom. Yeah, but sure. I'm going to go back to the scraper because I don't want to gouge this as it comes open. I can help it. I need to smooth that out. Here's a smaller one. Here we are now. It's going up the wall, sort of. We're kind of getting underneath it now. So we're getting past that. We're only this far into this thing. I don't think we're going to get there tonight. I honestly think, guys, we might have to save the rest of this for another day. Not that I want it to continue to crack on us, so I might do something to preserve it in between. But I think I might have to do some of this on another turning, like on Saturday or Saturday, and you may just have to hopefully catch up with me on that one. Because I know we've been on here almost 3 hours at this point, and we're getting to the interesting part, but I can't trust that we're going to get all the way through this. Like I said, it's a very hard piece of wood. I'm not sure we can get all the way through it in the next 20 or 30 minutes. Yes, Fister, it's going to be a bowl eventually. Right now, it's a rock hard piece of cork oak. Soft on the top and hard inside. Sort of like some of the women I used to date. But anyway. Yes, Fister is a bowl, like I said, and we've been working on this one for a while. Got the outside of it pretty well stationed, not satisfactory, but the inside's just been really, really a surprise after a surprise. I mean, we're getting these big holes here that aren't on the outside. There's nothing on the outside to indicate that this would be here. It's a piece of a branch that was there at one time inside the wood. So is this a little piece of a branch, and then of course we got all the cork, the bark that's cork in here. So right now, I'm going to do this though. I'm going to before we go on this, I'm going to just put a little shot of some of this tung oil in here, just so you can see what the inside's going to look like. We're going to have to turn it out anyway, but let me just kind of give this a little whirl for you. Might even stiffen up some of the wood a little bit for me, where it's soft. Actually, might be a blessing in disguise to do this even before I finish turning it, just to get this on here. And put this bark in here, so you get the general idea anyway of what it's going to look like. And then when you come back and watch me turn the rest of it, we'll see if we can't tame this beast and actually make a pretty bowl out of it. Right now it's a live edge cork bowl with a lot of attitude in it, which is fine with me. I like a challenge. If you're just turning the same old boring stock wood that you get from a wood store all the time, you don't really get to learn much new. This way, I get to experiment with a live piece of wood that I cut myself, or cut for me, but got cut. I load it into my truck, take it home, and make something out of it. And repurposing wood that's been cut down because it was diseased, which this was a diseased tree. The limbs were. The main branch was not. I mean, the trunk was not. So I'm feeding some more in there. And you can get a general idea of what this is going to look like. I'll take this off and kind of show you. There we go. Come on. There we go. So there's the inside of the bowl. Oh, got some more. Got some place here. I just need to brush in a little bit. And you can see the outside of the bowl if you haven't seen it before, if you weren't here when we did the outsides. And that really shines up when it's not dusty. It's dusty right now from all the turning. But it really does look nice. When we get a final finish on this, it's going to really pop. Trying to preserve that cork. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether it's a dry spot or not. And I will go over and I will sand this also with my special sanding tools. So that will get some, bark will get some sanding to make it a little softer. We'll darken it also, possibly, to make it match. But I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave this the way it is. It doesn't look bad this way. What do you guys think? Do you think I ought to just leave it alone and just let it be as it is? I think I did a pretty good job of leveling that out without making it too obvious. Please feel free to write in the comments when I'm asking these questions so that so I know what you guys are thinking too. This is a collaborative effort after all. What do you got? Yeah, I think when I get it done, it's going to look nice. Thanks, Dan. It's going to take a while. So I think we're going to call it a day just about here. We're almost up to 3 hours. And I really appreciate all of you coming in here and watching and listening. I want a special thanks to Mike. He was really helping out tonight. And I really do appreciate all of you guys watching. And please, if you have anything to suggest or write, please put it in the comment section before you leave. I mean, we still got quite a few people on here. Let's see, 117 at the moment. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit it. We really like to get to 100. It really helps the algorithm and helps get this out to more people. And if you haven't subscribed, it's free to subscribe. Costs you nothing. I would really appreciate it. And thank you, Dan. I appreciate it, guys. Gary. Hi, Gary. Thank you all for coming. Rob. How much do I want for one of them? What? The bowl? I'm probably, if I get this done and it starts looking really, really nice, I can probably get $30, $40 for it. I don't see people paying $80 or $100 for it. I think you know, the problem is the amount of work you put in some bowls don't even justify all the amount of what you get out of it. Other bowls, I've taken bowls where the wood is just a gorgeous piece of wood and done very little to it except turn it, and all of a sudden people are like ooh and ah, and they want to pay $100 for it. So it's you know, it's really eye of the beholder. It's art. This is really art. This is what this is. It's not just wood turning. It's art. What you do with the bowl, how functional it is. Can they use it somewhere? A lot of times my wife will take some of my bowls that are kind of plain and she'll decorate them with flowers and so forth. And all of a sudden the person says, wow, that would look nice in my house. And sometimes I sell them with the flowers I bought too. Or sometimes they just want the bowl. But that does improve the sellability and the pricing of it. I'll have to see. I mean, I'll put it out there. I'll say $40, see if it goes. If I take it to 2 or 3 shows and I haven't sold it, it probably will be 30. I don't know. I can't hold on to everything forever. I'll have too many bulls in the house as it is. You'd give me 50 for one? Well, if you're in California, no, I appreciate that. And if I could get the finish on it that I'd like to get on it, it might be a $50 bowl. You're very right. Let me show you something here if I can. There's lots of different wood, but you see this little piece of wood here. This is a piece of birch, and because it is so pretty, it has such nice lines in it. even if I turn something small, I can get $15 for this little piece of wood. So it's going to take me maybe 10, 15 minutes to turn, as opposed to this one that I've spent like 3 hours on, and it's not even completed yet. The look of the wood and how functional it is a big thing. And what I want to do with this one eventually, and I'll probably have to do this on another day, was to show you that you can turn a very thin piece of wood and still make a small plate out of it. And that's what we're going to try and do with this one. I'm not sure because I got a couple animal wormholes in here. But if we can avoid the wormholes and get solid all the way around, I think this would make a real pretty little bowl or small plate. So we'll just have to wait and see when I turn that. Okay, and maybe I'll do that after I do this one the other day. And then we also had this one that I turned earlier today. I haven't finished it. But again, a very small bowl. But the wood is gorgeous, as you can see. I have a nice small little thing here. I gotta get it off here. I got a screw that broke on me, so I have to eliminate that little problem. But I will, and then we'll turn the rest of this. And it's going to be a small bowl, and I'm probably not going to get more than $10 for this, even though it's a really pretty piece of wood and a really pretty bowl. Because I don't think people are going to pay for a very tiny bowl. So. They tend to value things, especially when kind of economies are tough in certain areas. It really becomes kind of an issue all the way around. All right, well, guys, hi Bob, or Rob. I'm sorry, Rob. So you'd pay the shipping. Well, if you want to stick around with us a couple more of these, I'll see if we can get a way to get you a connection to me if you want to get a connection. But I'd like you to see the end of the bowl first before we did something like that. And then maybe we can set something up. But for right now, I'm going to let you guys go. I really appreciate y'all being on here. And Rob, you're welcome to come back anytime. Please subscribe so you're getting my updates and you know when I'm going to be live. Like I said, I'm going to try and do one either tomorrow, probably Saturday morning. Saturday morning would be like 7, 8 o'clock West Coast time. And if I do that Saturday early morning, it'd probably be middle of the day for some of you. So we'll probably get a little bit different audience, but just wanted to thank you again, and we will talk to you all next Thursday because we do Thursdays live at 3 o'clock every time. So we'll see you then. Bye.